The last movie we're going to be talking about today is The Cabin in the Woods. Now, The Cabin in the Woods is directed by Godard, who is the writer of Cloverfield, and he's also a director-writer on both Buffy and Lost. And most famously, it's written by Joss Whedon, the creator of Buffy, and the creator of Firefly and Serenity and the upcoming Avengers movie. So this is kind of going to be his little runway up to the Avengers. This was released week before last, or last week, and it premiered at South by Southwest, and it was kind of seen as like this big fanboy favorite. Right out of the gates, all the blogs were ablaze about how awesome this movie was, and then a couple days later, some of the critics came out and said how awful this movie was, and some critics are really, really defending it, and some critics are really, really condemning it for the exact same reasons. So I kind of went in with not exactly knowing what to expect, but I think this is a really terrific movie and really entertaining. Basically what you have here is the classic horror movie setup. I mean, to a T, totally full of cliches. So you have a group of college-age kids, 5 college-age kids, one of which, the only one that's really famous is Chris Hemsworth from Thor, who go to a cabin in the woods to do some studying or some partying or whatever they plan on doing there. On the way there, they see a creepy gas station attendant who tells them that if they go, they're doomed. And they go anyway. And once they're there, they find all these weird things in the cabin that suggest there's something wrong afoot. There's this basement full of all of these ceremonious trinkets and things that have some sort of link towards a secret evil within the cabin. Now, I'm going to try and be very, very spoiler careful for this movie. Because there's a lot of reveals in here. Almost right away, there's certain reveals that I think you shouldn't know going in. Yeah. But I will say that this movie is extremely postmodern and very self-aware. Very much kind of reminded me a lot of Scream when it first came out, and how you had a horror movie about horror movies, commenting on the cliches while at the same time entertaining you with the cliches. And it's extremely gory. In the best way possible. Yes. I think this is that great kind of camp, like 80s slasher movie gore that you really love. And it pays off completely in a genre way while at the same time commenting fairly cleverly on the genre. The last 20 minutes of this movie is fantastic. You just get a horror movie orgasm explosion. And I will say that I think you have to be kind of a seasoned horror fan to really enjoy this movie. There's a lot of references in here that if you don't get them, I don't know how much you're really going to like it. And I will say that the last 5 minutes or so of the movie begins to pile on some exposition I didn't need and some mythology that I wasn't excited about, and a very tired cameo. But all in all, I think this is one of the funnest movies I've seen all year. So I give it a B+.
B+. I'm gonna go with the odds. B+ as well. It's got everything that I enjoy. It's got campy fun. Mm-hmm. It's got gore, which I enjoy. Like no reveals, but some fantastic parts that are just make it different than anything else. That really makes me happy. It's got zombies, which I like.
Yeah, those are always fun.
This is the kind of movie that I honestly want to own. I'll be excited to own it, pause it in some parts so that I can get... This
is like a good Friday night party kind of movie.
Yeah, I think it even has rewatch value, which is rare for horror movies.
Yeah.
Last 20 minutes, so fantastic. You're right. I want to mention that it's got... you're a little bit wrong, because Anna Hutchinson was a Yellow Ranger at one point in time, so Chris Hemsworth is nowhere nearly as famous as a Yellow Ranger. I'm sorry.
I guess I'm not familiar with that incarnation.
Yeah, that's something right. I just came across on IMDb, but I thought it was worth mentioning. It's got some decent stoner humor. Usually stoner humor is pretty meh.
Yeah.
It's got a good stoner character in it. Well,
all of the cliches like that, and the the horny teenagers and all that kind of stuff that you see in every horror movie. They play around with it in a clever way. And it never just comes off as just genre for the sake of genre.
So yeah, no, definitely fully agree. B+, enjoy it. Definitely go check it out in theaters.
And it's hilarious.
It is. It's
I don't
so
think
fun.
either of us. This is a comedy and a very good one.
The last horror comedy I enjoyed this much was Jennifer's Body. I think it has a very similar feel to that one.
And I say this will look really nice on your DVD cabinet right next to Evil Dead.
There you go.